Welcome to Mix It Up, where cultures collide for your viewing, entertainment, and pleasures. I am Jamar Lee alongside Justin and Subby the Great. Before we get started, happy 4th of July to all our viewers and listeners. And I also would like to give a special shout out to Mike B, JAG5, Flexecution _ Snoopy, Piff Smith,
Courtney,
and iPhone Life. And happy birthday, iPhone Life.
Happy birthday.
I told you I'll give you a little shout out, so happy birthday. So to get started, let's go to the NBA trade, and for that I'm going to ask Justin to give his input because he is well aware of what's going down.
I am the NBA expert among the three, so I figured that
Debatable.
I'd start this off.
He's definitely the most biased.
How?
Because you are.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just say this. Okay, so obviously we all know, well, the news is already broken 2 hours before the fact, but Kevin Durant is heading to the Nets, which is no surprise, alongside of Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan. Makes it a formidable, big three.
That's what she said.
Right. So, with that being said, with that being the big news, there's a couple other guys that could be on the move. Capella could be headed to the Kings, possibly if they don't get Al Horford. Terry Rozier from Boston could be heading to the Hornets. LA, the Lakers seem to be interested in Patrick Beverley and Seth Curry, since it doesn't seem like they're going to get their max player unless they sign Kawhi, because obviously it looks like Jimmy Butler's head to Miami. He is meeting with them tonight, so we won't know for sure, but it looks like he'll be heading there. Dame Lillard, he gets a 4-year contract for $196 million. Other than that, Rose has a 2-year to the Pistons. Rubio is likely to the Pacers. And D'Lo could possibly end up in Minnesota. Preferably for him, that's his top choice. So it looks like the NBA is kind of going to be shaken up this year. And it looks like the Lakers are going to have to try and figure out how to fill the roster, because it looks like everybody else is going elsewhere.
I think that would be the best move for the Lakers. I think the best thing for the Lakers is to sign a whole bunch of key role players instead of a big ticket deal. But that's just me. I'm interested to see where JJ Redick goes and see if McGee actually signs to
the Rockets.
I agree with you, unless the big time acquisition is Kawhi. But I agree with that statement too. Kawhi, if you do go to LA, I think you're a bitch. I think you need to stay in Toronto. Hold on. I think he's a bitch because you need to stay in Toronto, because otherwise he totally goes against his grain and joining the big three.
And against what he said.
That's why I said I commend Jimmy Butler for wanting to go to Miami and do his own thing.
I'm not a Butler fan. Me and 3J had this conversation last night. I'm not a Butler fan, so if Butler sees this, you know what I'm saying, you know what it is. So
say it with your chest.
In regards to Kawhi, the big pitch that apparently LeBron is pitching to Kawhi at the moment is LeBron is willing to take a backseat to Kawhi and AD and let them kind of do their thing. It's been reported that Kawhi really doesn't want to play a third wheel type of player. It doesn't really interest him. So I think that's the biggest selling point right now. LeBron's getting older, so obviously it would probably be in LeBron's best interest to kind of take a back seat, but also, play.
Because he is the best player in the game. So LeBron would have to take the back seat to the best player in the game.
So you're obviously talking about Kawhi Leonard.
Obviously.
Say it with your chest.
I already did.
Okay, say it again.
He is the best player in the game.
Okay, so you all can feel free to disagree or agree with that. I'm sure that everybody has a different opinion. I really don't think I need to dive into that topic at the moment.
Kawhi, please don't go.
But yeah, Kawhi, it's up to you now, dog. You know, it's all in your court. Like you're the lone dog left. It looks like everybody else has got their spot.
All right, so let's take with the NBA. Are either one of you surprised with the interview that Iguodala did at the Breakfast Club? Shaw?
Particularly, no. I think it's expected now in today's NBA, where the team kind of underplays their stars' injury. Not only is it a good coaching strategy, because you kind of throw off the team, you don't know what to expect, but otherwise, other than that, I think it's shady for the organization to do that. Just to give y'all a little background, Iguodala was kind of coping with KD, kind of sympathizing with him, because Iguodala last year, the Warriors said he had a bone bruise, when actually he had a fractured leg. And if you guys, everybody saw what happened with KD this year, he ruptured his Achilles when he tried to come back. So I feel sorry for the players, because you know that's where they make their money. It's their game. They lose the money, support their family, themselves, and these organizations. I mean, they're selfish for want to do that. But try to underplay the mind and say, "Hey, get your ass back out there." And I'm just like, dude, I can't barely walk. What you want me to do?
Well, they were kind of in a shitty situation. There wasn't only one injury; there was multiple injuries. So I think everybody had to, you know, kind of limp out on the court. That's just the way it was. In regards to Mark Jackson being blackballed from the NBA, though, it seems more or less that because that's the thing that Iguodala was hitting on, that Mark Jackson, you know, wasn't blackballed, but it looks to be like they didn't like Mark Jackson's culture play. You know, he tried to implement religion and kind of stuff that the owner didn't really agree with, and you know, Mark Jackson kind of had his way of coaching, and that's the way he liked to do it. And Mark Jackson seems to be kind of a strong, stern guy, and I don't think he would ever back off his coaching tactics. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me in a way, because I don't think Mark Jackson's going to bow down to anybody. He's going to do his own thing.
I was surprised, but I was surprised for different reasons. Mark Jackson, since he's commentating, he's been on record saying that the staff on the Golden State Warriors is a good staff. So when Iguodala said that, it just shook me, because I think Mark Jackson is a notable and admirable coach.
He is.
In my opinion, he's at least in the top 5 coaches, and I know you two disagree because he doesn't have a track record. But to me, to take a team from nothing to be a competing factor in any playoffs is brilliant to me. So that shocked me when Iguodala said that, because Mark Jackson said numerous times that Golden State Warriors staff is great. And it also shook me for them to say Mark Jackson was blackballed. The reason behind, I knew Mark Jackson was blackballed, but the reason behind it, like Justin said, him and the owner wasn't meshing well because of Mark Jackson's belief in the owner being gay, or I think gay, or bi-curious, or whatever the saying is.
He wasn't right.
Yeah, I just got what you were saying. So Mark Jackson and the owner butt heads about that. I think that should have fell by the wayside because of the coaching owner relationship. I think that should have been dismissed. But the owners get together and they decide what to do and what not to do. Yeah. So I that shocked me. The reason behind Mark Jackson being blackballed shocked me.
Their team, their money.
Yep. So which would you rather go with, Shaw? Old Disney or New Disney?
Old Disney.
Old Disney.
Old Disney, hands down. We're talking about classics, man. Little Mermaid, Fox and Hound, Pocahontas. Yeah, I said Little Mermaid. Cinderella, Toy Story 1, Lion King, what they're remaking now. Lion King, Aladdin, original Aladdin, Jungle Book. You can't go wrong with the old school Disney movies, man. I do like some of the things that they're doing with the newer ones, like the remake they did with Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. I thought they were admirable, but I don't think they didn't reach the peak that the old ones did.
I have to say the Jungle Book. I really like
Jungle Book was really good. I agree with you. But we'll see what happens with the Lion King. We'll see what happens with the Lion King.
Yeah.
Disney.
That's the deciding factor.
Absolutely. Disney, look at me. I took my glasses off of this. Look at me, Walt. I don't care if
Walt is dead.
Walt, look at me. Look at me, Walt. If you mess this up, I'm gonna leave you a terrible Google comment, man, for your whole company. I'm telling you right now. Look at me.
Justin, no.
All right, well, I have to agree with Shaw. I do love the older movies, but everybody's got to go out and see Toy Story 4. I just seen that last weekend.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's funny. It's I don't know. I like I said, I didn't have any expectations going in because I'm 31 years old and I don't really look forward to watching Toy Story, but it was a good movie. Brought back a lot of memories. But as far as the new movies that come out, kind of elaborating what Shaw said, they are doing some really good things with them. Like I said, they can't mess up The Lion King. If they do, everything else is just dismissed. But I'm interested to see the movie. I think we all are. There's only really been one that I've heard that really hasn't been that great, which 3 has seen Aladdin. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's kind of been up and down with reviews. So, I mean, if you want to elaborate on that.
Yes, but first my answer is obviously old Disney. The reason why is because
Original.
It just, you couldn't, with the remakes you can't put the magical effect like you did with the cartoons. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. I see what they're doing, like with Aladdin. Mm-hmm. Aladdin was a movie. It wasn't about Aladdin. It was about Genie. Mm-hmm. It was about Will Smith. I see what they were going for. The casting was off. The script was off. It was totally designed for Will Smith. It was a Will Smith production. Everything was designed around Will Smith being the base. As opposed to the older Aladdin, it was about Aladdin and Jasmine, and Robin Williams add that flair.
Okay, agreed.
So it's just hard for me to dismiss old Disney, even though they're doing some good work with the new Disney. It's like the Marvel comics. The movies are nothing like the books, the comic books, and that's just what new Disney is. It's nothing like. And don't get me wrong, I group Toy Story in with old Disney because it's the same cast, minus the guy who played Mr. Potato Head because he died, but they still did voiceover for him. So Toy Story gets looped in with old Disney. Jungle Book was dope. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine anybody, even with the first live action Jungle Book, there's no way to mess up Jungle Book because there's no really magical creation besides the voices.
Well, I mean, they did really well with the graphics.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
I agree.
Which made it that much better. Yeah. I mean,
but we'll see with Lion King.
Right.
Lion King is the make all be all.
So we want to get their opinion too.
Oh yeah. So which one would you go with? Old Disney or new Disney? Obviously, us three go.
Or do you not like them at all?
Or do you not?
Right.
I mean, that's fine.
I know a lot of people who don't like Disney because of Marvel.
Yeah. Or they just don't like Walt Disney.
Hakuna Matata, bitch.
P&G has released their new commercial called The Look to follow its predecessor, The Talk. Mm-hmm. I believe you both watched it.
Can you elaborate on The Look a little bit?
So The Look is it's about the look that people. I want to say it's about people of color, but in this,
just cut to the chase, like it is what it is.
No, but I want to make sure that everyone gets it.
Okay.
It's supposed to be about how people of color are perceived on the outside by Caucasian people.
Or just people in general.
People in general, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
But for this segment, they totally hit the nail on the head by incorporating a black man who was at a swimming pool, restaurant, shopping, and how he was perceived as being not only a threat but a questionable person just because of color of his skin. Mm-hmm. But they didn't take accountability the content of his character, and it showed at the end. It showed him being a judge, which I think was dope. Right. It made me think different, but I'll get into that later. So Shaw, no, I think it's Justin.
Yeah, I mean, this should never judge anybody by their skin color or ethnicity. Just you don't judge anybody by the book of the cover. You got to get to know somebody before you can actually judge them. I actually like the commercial. I think it's an eye opener because actually with the whole commercial, it's shooting the whole commercial through the eyes of a black man. So it gives you not only the look, but the feel of how it is to walk into a restaurant and someone don't offer you help. Or you walk into a clothing store and someone just doesn't help you because you're black. I think those are very important, that you see it but also feel it. Because a lot of people, you can hear about it, but you don't feel it, so you don't really understand the magnitude of what an actual black man will go through on a daily basis. So watching the commercial and actually feeling it, it gives you a lot better understanding of what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And like you said, at the end of the commercial, you know, they show them as being a judge, and you know, like I said, you don't know who you're dealing with.
So to elaborate on that, first impressions are always lasting. So from the first impression I got is exactly let's get right to the point topic. It was a black man walking into different scenarios, getting the look, getting the eyeball, getting the question, and at the end he turned out to be a high political figure, being a judge. I get that. I understand it. I think I could say that freely because I do understand it. I get the same looks myself. Whether if I walk into a men's warehouse with my shirt off like this with tattoos exposed and me being Asian colored, then people aren't likely to help me at first. Or likewise, I tried this one scenario out just for my own fun at a gas station. I talked to this elderly guy at the gas pump while I was in my work attire. Took my shirt off, exposed my tattoos. Same elderly guy wanted to act like he didn't know me. So to me, it's all about impressions, first impressions, and also from the point of view of the person looking at you. Because like I said, you don't. A lot of times, I get it. That's the perception at first, but you don't know what the person's thinking until you, like Justin said, until you get to know that person. Don't make an automatic assumption.
Wait, so you're saying that the person, the black man who was getting a look, should make assumption, or the
both parties?
Oh, okay.
Either party, both parties. The parties that we're looking at the black guy should never make an assumption that oh man, this guy's gonna thief, or I shouldn't help him. If that's the scenarios that you're depicting, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. And I don't think the guy walking into the store should say, oh man, like I gotta worry about what if I'm being watched being thief and stuff. Like if you look suspicious, yeah, motherfuckers are gonna look at you. But he didn't. But he didn't.
Yeah, I think
make that clear.
I think the dismissing point of that is the actual look that they were giving. With the, let's just say for instance, the couple that came into the diner, they looked at him and said that they didn't want to sit there and pointed to that one. So I think that was, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, and that's
but
what I'm saying.
in a real life scenario, I see what you're saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, from that look, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, first impressions.
Right.
That's what they got. That's what they gave back to him. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But if I'm to look at you like this, normal look, right?
Correct.
Not from look.
Yeah. I got you.
Different look.
I feel you. As a black man, first of all, I'm going to tell you what my big mama always taught me from the age of 10 up until she died. And I'm trying to instill the same thing into my children. And hopefully you viewers out there take this and accept it. But as a black man, woman, this society does not give a fuck about you. Half of society will be happier if you didn't breathe today. If you just automatically drop dead today, they will be happy. The only thing that society cares about, and this is something that is nothing that my big mama taught me along with this, is their life and money. If you're not affecting their life or their money, they don't care about you. And I tell my daughter, and I told her this today, make sure that they care about you. Make sure you are holding the value of your life. Make sure that you are incorporating money into your life so that no matter what, they have to listen to you. You have to affect them somehow. So with that being said, when I saw this, it took me back to when I was younger. And the look affected me so much. It demanded some type of recourse, and I would go around and saying, problem, the fuck you looking at, something like that. Nowadays, I'm just like, yo, when I walk in the room, I want your attention. I dictate the culture of this room. I dictate what you want to say. I dictate how you react. I'm the dictator because I just walked in the room. you feel my energy, and my energy now controls you. So I'm kind of on the fence with the look. I see where they're going. I applaud PNG. I applaud you so much. But as a man today, and as I'm going throughout my travels, I want everyone to look at me. I want that attention. I want you, when I walk in a room, my spirit is going to beat you up, and it's going to affect you so much that you're going to change your perception. So I want that. And I'm trying to raise my children to do that as well. So I applaud you. I'm so proud that PNG is given their platform they're using to incorporate change and diversity, and it's making it so that we have this conversation. Because about 5-6 years ago, we wouldn't have had this conversation. And I'm so glad that they're using their platform to do it.
Yep. So.
Yay for integration.
We're going to move on to United States of Crazy Laws. And Justin, you have one for us today?
Right, so every week we do each state, for every state, their craziest law. Last week we did Georgia. Yeah. This week we're going to do New Jersey. And the law is you cannot commit a murder with a bulletproof vest on, which is fucking retarded, because if you commit a murder, irregardless of what the fuck you have on, you still committed a murder. So
maybe they want the other person to have a fighting chance.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It doesn't make any sense to me, but like I said, this is why we have the conversation, because there are a lot of fucking crazy ass laws that we don't know about. But they have to make these laws because they have to make a certain amount of laws every year. So this is the stupid shit that they come up with. Yeah. What do you think, Saul? Huh?
Stupid ass law, man.
Shout out to New Jersey though. That's a good one.
50. You can't kill nobody in Jersey with that bulletproof vest on, man.
Is he still in Jersey? No, I thought he was in Connecticut.
I think he's in. Yeah. I'm just saying he can't travel. He just can't kill nobody with that. Yeah.
Sorry, Fifth.
So sorry, brother. You gotta take the bulletproof off. Yeah.
I think it's so that they can have a fighting chance. I think it's a leveler.
Yeah, but if you put a bulletproof vest, doesn't it make you like a little bit more like? Doesn't it make you look different when you have a bulletproof vest? Like you know.
You can tell when somebody has a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, like. But
hold on, wait. So how do cops kill? Oh, I guess cops are above the law. I guess because cops kill people every day.
That's a whole different topic, though.
All right. Hallpass.
Hallpass. Do we want
watch Sophie liven up.
What's Sophie liven? You want to see me liven up? Hey, Hallpass segment. Justin, can you cut me after this?
I got you.
Okay. I'm gonna put your hat back.
I need to cut too.
So the Hallpass segment is where you get consent from your significant other to have relations with another being, preferably human. I'm just saying.
Why would you just say a human being?
I'm just saying.
Say a woman.
I'm just saying. Oh, it's the new days nowadays.
Oh my goodness.
So you get to pick.
You get to pick whoever. Yeah.
Justin, who's your Hallpass?
Right. I mean, you want to question it?
All right. So my Hallpass would be, and she actually has been kind of forgotten, and I don't know why, but Megan Good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Megan Good is kind of went away a little bit, but she's still a very attractive young lady, and
absolutely,
she could definitely get a date any day with me.
So, or is it me?
I thought it was on you.
Oh, it's on me. I think I'm going to take the cake. My Hallpass is Serena Williams.
Damn, I was thinking about her too.
Fight me.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with that.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
So mine, I just showed you the IG. Yeah. It just caught my attention. I know she got Kylie Jenner. I'm sorry, she just.
I don't know when she got a book.
I don't know. It just happened. Maybe it just grew on IG.
Yeah, just grew overnight. Apparently,
that's what I'm saying on Instagram.
The Jenners, you never know.
Hey, you're right. You are right.
I think I won.
We'll let the viewers decide.
Yeah, who won?
Who
won?
Y'all should decide on every week.
Megan Good, Serena,
Kylie.
Pedophilia.
Jenner.
Get a taste.
Oh, she's 18 now, ain't she?
She's legal.
She legal?
Yeah, she's legal.
Still pedophilia.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on Mix It Up. We love to hear from you. Make sure you follow us on all social media networks. All social media networks at mixitup.513. Make sure you email us at 513.mixitup@gmail.com. That's it.